Hi, I'm Kevin Grass. I am originally from St. Genevieve, Missouri, and I currently live in Tarpon Springs, Florida. I teach at St. Petersburg College, where I've been teaching since 1997, and the classes I teach there are beginning drawing, figure drawing, and painting. I'm originally from Missouri, so the biggest effect that has on my work is that people from the Midwest are very direct. So if you look at my paintings, you'll see that they also tend to reflect that. Whether it's the figure paintings or the duck paintings, there is a directness to it. It's not hard to get it. I also, when I was in high school and junior high school, did a lot of commission work, and the commission work I did up there was portraits and landscape paintings. And of course, doing that has fed into my figure paintings, came directly from that kind of stuff. People in the Midwest tend to like realism, so that's also probably why I do realism. My biggest artistic influences, without a doubt, are Jan van Eyck from the 1400s, not his subject matter, but how he paints it. And David Michael Bowers, contemporary artist who does figurative work that deals with social commentary, political kind of stuff. My favorite medium is acrylic paint. I have tried oil paint, and I hate it because oil paint takes a long time to dry. It cracks when you put certain varnishes on it. It's very fickle. And the acrylic paint that they have nowadays, I use golden open acrylic because it stays wet longer. It allows you to be able to blend and glaze like you can with oil paint without all the chemicals. And it's a lot more flexible than oil paint, and evidently keeps its color better than oil paint. It doesn't darken over time. The final coating I put on it is a varnish. It's, I prefer glossy. I just like, it gives it a nice slick look, and it enhances the color so that the blacks, when acrylic paint dries, the black and dark colors look gray. When you put the varnish on, it makes them dark again, and it makes the bright colors richer and protects the surface like it's supposed to. The current series is Masterworks that is based on Masterworks, and instead of real figures, I'm putting Barbies and Kens into them. My wife makes the outfits, I make any furniture, and basically use the same composition that the master used. And so far I've done one based on Botticelli's Primavera, one based on Fragonard's The Swing, and I'm working on one right now that's based on calendar pages from the Limburg brothers from the 1300s. The duck paintings, the inspiration for those are dad jokes. So we tried to come up with as many puns, me, my wife, and my son, that have to do with the words duck, quack, fowl, bird. I think those are the main ones that we could come up with. So I've got a list of probably 150 titles. And then I come up with an image that will illustrate the titles. Pretty fun, they're very straightforward. And because they're smaller, they don't take as long, and because of the size, the ducks end up being life-size or bigger, so I can really get into a lot of detail that I can't get into with the figure paintings and with landscapes and with the Barbie paintings. So it's fun. The figure paintings, the inspiration was things that were going on socially in the United States. So there was one about alcoholism that was pretty popular that actually sold. But a lot of them are my experiences that I think everybody has, regardless of political leanings, what have you, that everybody can agree, oh yeah, this is something that I can relate to. And I used people I knew for models for that. The start of the duck paintings was The figure paintings, they sell occasionally, but they're so expensive that it's hard to sell them. Plus, you know, I mean, quite honestly, who's going to want something like that hanging in their house? There are some people, you know, don't get me wrong, but you're looking for a niche customer base. So I was getting tired of doing paintings and just putting them in the storage racks. And they were big paintings, so that I could make some money on them. I made them bigger. And I was getting really frustrated and kind of didn't know what to do about it. And so one day I was getting ready to do a still life demonstration for my students in painting class. And I set up something with the yellow rubber ducks. It was actually the first one, called Getting Your Ducks in a Row. I put them I took a piece of plexiglass, put it on a piece of blue cloth so it would reflect like water, continued the blue cloth up behind them, and set the ducks on it, and wired one up so it looked like it's flying. And I started that in class so that my students could see how, you know, demonstration for starting a full color painting. And I can't finish stuff during class time when I'm teaching, so when we finished that painting that they were working on, I brought it home, finished it, and like, oh, you know, I could do a bunch of these. So started coming up with all these titles, and you know, came up with how many paintings so far? 33 paintings, I think, that I've done so far. Initially, it was also I got the idea for the students, the still life at school, from my wife, because she had a yellow rubber duck that she used as a focusing element when she was giving birth to Nicholas. And when I saw that, I thought, you know, that's what I thought. That looks like it'd be fun to paint, so I bought some different ducks and set that up at school. My wife will actually tell me if I haven't painted in a while and I'm acting out. You need to go paint. And she's right, because something about it, you know, it's intoxicating to see the paint transformed into space and light and form. It's always kind of magical and fun. So I could never do abstract art because, you know, with a lot of abstract art, it's about the materials looking like the materials. I just, personally for me, I don't like doing that. I can appreciate it, but I don't relate to it when I'm painting. So yeah, that's why. Is just I can't ever see not doing it. It is a critical thinking skill endeavor whenever you're doing any kind of artwork, because you have to solve a visual problem that maybe no one solved before, and so you have to go through a process to figure out what's the most effective way to do it. How do you clearly communicate the idea? So it helps to build the critical thinking skills. And I also use it around the house. A lot of the furniture we have, I built myself. So I would do drawings to figure it out. And then obviously I love woodworking. I'd cut the pieces and do the finished work based on the drawings. So I guess that's the main thing. And I mean, as I'm getting older, it's important to keep your mind active. So it's a really great tool for seniors, especially, to stave off, you know, some of the things that can happen later in life, like Alzheimer's and things like that. Just to have something that you're doing that keeps you engaged. Practice, practice, practice. That's the only way. People think you're born with it. That is not true. You might be born with the desire to do it, but you are never born with the innate ability. It is about practicing it constantly. I have a lot of students that start out in drawing one who think they're geniuses already, and they rest on their laurels throughout the semester. And then the people that maybe weren't as good, that worked really hard, pass them up and become better artists. It's just, you have to have the skills in order to be able to pull off whatever it is you want to do, whether it's realism or abstraction or conceptual art. If you don't have the skills, you're not going to be able to be an artist, and you cannot have the skills without practice. Yeah, I think that having the drive, you know, if I have a student that will not do projects, if I have a student that only does artwork when they have a project, that is a student that is not going to be an artist. The students that are going to be artists are the ones that don't need projects in order to be doing artwork. I mean, the projects are great, it gives them direction, but they would do artwork anyway, you know. That's somebody that should be an artist, and that's someone that will probably find a way to make it somehow in the art world.